Yeah, overnight.
All right, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yep.
Hashem,
Yo, shut up.
Hashem.
Okay.
All right, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who has taught us this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are also pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, and as well as peace and mercy to you little amount of sisters that believe in sincerity and truth. So today's class is going to be an open forum, so to speak, on the indignation of the Lord. Okay, and we're going to start off with I'm going to bring out the definition of indignation. I just looked it up real quickly on Google. It's pretty straightforward in the definition. So here, indignation, I just looked it up on Google Dictionary. It says indignation, anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So another word for unfair would be unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And anything that's unbalanced, like, and you know, when you have an unbalanced measure, the Lord talks about that, right? He talks about an unbalanced, it's an abomination to him, right? Let's get that real quick. Let's start with that. An unjust weight, I think it's Proverbs 21 and 11. Oh, no. Proverbs 11, I'm pretty sure. Then an abomination, right? And an abomination is a filthy thing. Okay, so this is what the Lord says about a false balance. It says Proverbs 11:1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight, right? And you know, a just weight, really, that's how the scriptures are. The scriptures are balanced. The law, statutes, and commandments are balanced. All right. But what you have over the earth right now, who's ruling over the earth, is Esau, Edom, the wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24.
Mm-hmm.
And everything he does is in the measure of unbalance. Okay. It's in the measure of unbalance, which leads to confusion. It leads to rebellion. And we know rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. Okay, and that's why this society is going to tank soon, man, because it's built upon unbalanced measures, unbalanced rule, unbalanced laws, man. Okay, verse 2, real quick, it says, when pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. Right, and the lowly, that pursues to who? The elect. The elect of the nation of Israel, man. They're in a humble state. Another word for lowly is humble, right? And wisdom starts when you fear the Lord. Okay, so let's go into. With that being said, let's go into Isaiah, the 34th chapter, and I'm gonna start at 1.
Mm-hmm.
So this says God's wrath, Yahweh's wrath against the nations.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it starts with, I'm starting at 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, man. Okay, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Right, and that's what the Lord is going to do with the armies of these different nations, starting with America. All right, Russia, China, Iran, even Israel, all these different armies, the Lord is going to have them pursuant to prophecy. He's going to muster them up in what you call the Fertile Crescent. That's where World War III is going to start out of, man. Okay, and then how is he going to destroy them and slaughter them? Well, the Lord is going to come back. Yahweh Shai is going to come back by the way of a so-called UFO, a chariot of the Lord, pursuant to what? Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. And he's going to make war with them. You got slaughtered by the missiles. The missiles are part of the Lord's army. You got famine. Okay. Verse 3, it says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. Yeah, there's going to be it's going to be a smell, a dirty smell on the earth because of all the carcasses that are going to be on the earth. Also, why the first job for these Edomites when they get put into captivity is going to be burying these bodies. It says,
quick precept, because this word indignation goes also into the word provocation, right? And you're going into it, but I wanted to address this because the results of wickedness, right, constitute a fill cup. The fill cup experience is coming, and that's what we're going into. I just wanted to bring one precept before you continue, going back to verse 2 of that word indignation, which is a provocation as well, right? Because now the Lord is going to bring this. The Lord's going to give them the full cup experience, bring this full cup experience, right? So all the wickedness that they have done, the Lord's going to give double. That's what I'm trying to say here, right? And the precept that comes to mind real quick is Revelation 18:6. If you could just get that, because this is what this judgment, right, this indignation is going into, right? Lightly put, the way the Lord used the Apostle John to say it, double, which is a fill cup experience. Okay. Revelation 18:6 on the point of this provocation and indignation. If you could just get that before you continue.
I'm going to start at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 18:4, and it says, I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The her is talking about Babylon, America, but also other parts of the world. The bulk of salvation is going to come out of America.
Yeah, speaking to Israel, namely the elect.
The elect only. Yeah.
Yeah, simply put. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this starts mentally, right? It starts with your mind first, putting off the customs of the world and the ways of the world, and putting on, your traditional and your heritage, the customs of your heritage, pursuant to the Bible as an Israelite. It says, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive none of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. Right? And to get a good illustration of what that looks like, or what that will look like, man, just go into the atrocities, the wickedness that America did during chattel slavery. And that starts with the Edomites. Because America is just a patsy for the Edomites, a patsy country for the Edomites. And you go into all their wickedness, right? Starting from witchcraft all the way down to poisoning, chattel slavery, what's it called? Child molestation, child sacrifices. Not saying that we're going to be doing these things to them, but the punishment that they're gonna receive for doing all these things is going to be horrendous, man. And that's that's the indignation of the Lord. It says, double according to her works in the cup which she hath filled to her double. And by the way, that's balance. By the way, that's balance, man. Because why they went for they went exceedingly. It says the scriptures talk about how Esau, he basically went he took it to the next level when it came to having us in subjection, man. He took it to the next level, basically out of balance. And so the Lord is going to reward them double for everything they've done, man.
Yeah. Real quick before you read, brother, just for what you just said there on the word provocation, just one part. It says specifically, quote, act of exciting anger or vestation. That's all I've got. Go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah 10:5,
Mm-hmm.
concerning the heathen nation. The Most High is used as a rod of his correction, right? And it's he refers to them as Assyrians. But for those who don't know, we know that it's referring to the so-called white man, right? As a present day Lord's sword.
That's
Okay?
right.
So it reads Isaiah 10:25, for yet, it's like a 10:5, it's like a,
Come.
O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger,
Mm-hmm.
and the staff in their hand is mine indignation.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord had used that nation as his rod of correction.
Come.
But even though the Lord has set it up that way, they still got to pay for it.
That's right.
Right?
Mhm.
So they thought they're on a winning streak, and there would be no recompense. All right. But as the brother said earlier, the Lord's about balance.
Mhm.
Right? And this balance, the scale is now tipping towards the nation of Israel, mainly the elect.
Come.
Okay? Because the Lord is going to come and execute vengeance. Okay? And the word vengeance is synonymous or likened unto indignation.
That's right.
All right?
Come.
So double unto you, Idumea.
Come.
You know? Let's sit in that. Sit in that.
I have a quick precept to go back with what's it called? Revelation 18 and 4 and down.
Okay.
I'm going to start off by reading Revelation chapter 22, verse 10. And the point will be made in verse 12. And it says, Revelation 22 and 10, and he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So just want to say briefly, since we're going into the righteous indignation, which is the Lord's righteous anger, but falling on this place, the Lord just simply said, man, if your works are filthy, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a filthy reward, which is a very harsh judgment. And if you're righteous, you're going to get a righteous reward, which comes with salvation in the kingdom. And that righteousness that is still is continuing right now, and what we're doing, which is a righteous work pushing the word. So if we continue to do this, we very well could be saved. We could very well a part of the elect. Right. So,
You got a quick reset on that? It's like it. Go ahead.
No. I'm just going to say what Gabar mentioned. It's a very good scripture, because people think that the Lord is about having everybody, saved, and you want the whole world, to come together as kumbaya. The Lord says, man, if you want to sit there and be a scoffer, right, and be a stiff-necked Israelite, let him, right? The apostle always says, if a nigga can't get it, let's move on.
That's right.
Right. So the Lord has even put angels there to purposely block people from understanding this truth. Right? This is why they're talking to a Negro, and he is like a deer in the headlight. You said, bro, when you're an Israelite, and he doesn't want to get it. Now we understand now, because at first, the truth, you know, you like this guy.
Yeah.
Understand? It's the Lord's doing. The Lord's saying, I'm gonna light this nigga up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sharp.
Oh yeah. Because this place is gonna be deal is gonna be done according to the scriptures, not it's not according to us. Jeremiah 50 and start at 29. Yeah, 50 and 29, and it reads, "Call together the archers against Babylon, all you that band their bow camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to the work, according to all that she had done, do unto her."
So all them
For she,
archers are, you know, is going into like people, nations with missiles,
Mhm.
right? With them ICBMs. So,
Right.
so it's not literal bow and arrow, right?
Right.
Exactly.
It's just it's speech of that time. So
Right.
Yeah.
we're set up to tell you that the arrows of today is the missiles, and there's a movie called Broken Arrows with
Broken arrow.
John Travolta, right?
Mhm.
And it was about ICBM missiles.
Right. Yeah, because to add to what Kazak's saying, this precept right here is prophetic.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of, you know, when you read the Bible is full of prophecies. So, you know, there's present day things that happen at that time of the prophets and present, but they're getting visions that were to come thousands of years later, which we're in now.
Gone.
So,
It says, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done unto her, for she had been proud against the Lord Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. And we
Right.
know this place, especially with Esau, a so-called white man, is proud as hell. You
Mhm.
know, he thinks he's never gonna take out of power, but that time is coming soon, and we
Right.
know that.
Right. And you know, how do you, you know, like a good way to measure, you know, the pride or the proudness of Esau and his kingdom, just look at the rebellion
Mm-hmm.
against the Lord and his laws, man. Look at the witchcraft upon the earth. You
Gone.
know, everything right down to the air you're breathing is witchcraft, really, because it's chemicals in the air, right? And it's used to dull your senses, is used to kill you, to
Mm-hmm.
systematically break you down so that you get sick, so that Esau can keep making money off you in the hospital system,
Gone.
right? Everything right down to the food we eat is witchcraft and rebellion, man. And that's the state that this people that the people are in this society is is in the state of rebellion. That's why you you got transformers. That's a
Mm-hmm.
word for men that want to be women and women that want to be men.
Gone.
That are teaching, you know, your children at Sunday reading in school, what have you and whatnot. You know, complete and utter rebellion, man.
I got the word recompense for verse 29 here. It says recompense, to redress, provide as an equivalent. It says early 15th century, specifically as to compensate, pay for services rendered, or for loss of property rights.
Yes.
So the property is really the Lord's, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You tampered with the Lord's property,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have to pay for that. And you're going to pay with your life, pretty much. That's the recompense.
That's right.
I think the elder Howard is online, and he posted a script.
Oh, okay, Con.
Job
How long, man?
2019. It goes with what Gabar just said.
Con. Job 20, verse 19, it says, because he hath oppressed and has forsaken the poor, Con.
That's it. Beautiful.
Because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Right. Verse 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness. In other words, peace in his belly. He shall not save. Right, man.
So that's going into the recompense, the payback, because you've taken something that wasn't his,
Con.
Mhm.
right? And have destroyed nations. That's why it's going to taken away a man's house.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
we know we're from the house of Israel, and each nation is a house of Benjamin, house of Gad, house of, so you've taken what was allotted to them, which is this land. Without land, you're nothing, right? And he's the only nation that wasn't allotted land, right? So that's why he's going on stealing and marauding, right? And killing, actually murdering.
Right.
Because killing is a righteous thing, but he's a murderer.
Yeah.
And he traps you by the way of what he, it said, build it. Who builded up America? You so-called Negroes.
Con.
Okay, you builded America, and then you so-called not Latinos and North American Indians were already here before the Spaniards, so-called Spaniards, got over here.
Con.
And what does he do? Hold on, what does he do?
Yep.
Right? He puts you to slavery, uses you up, pushes you to the reserves, puts you in the ghettos, and then entraps you if you want to come out of those ghettos. And in those ghettos, you have houses. And what does he trap you with? A mortgage. Right? You're paying however much you're paying every month for a mortgage for a house, and you're not even paying off the house. You're paying off the interest.
Con.
Then he puts interest on that, man.
Con.
That's what you call a devil. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, quick preset on that. Habakkuk 2 and 12. The point reads, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity.
Yeah, that's right, man. And they did, and it was iniquity what they did. And when you go into iniquity, what is it? Sin upon sin upon sin, multiplying in sin, man. And they did all kinds of shit. If we let's say didn't want to do what they told us to do, they would butt break you. That's sodomy, man.
Well, they have a thing called gay bars, right? And to have a gay bar, you have to get a license to open it up, and that money is then it generates business for those people who want to live that lifestyle. So that's one of the things that he does to build a city with iniquity.
Yeah.
Right. You have psychics, right? That you drive past some people's house, and and that's a legitimate business. It's a business. Where they deal with witchcraft.
Witchcraft, yeah.
This is supposed to be a Christian, so-called Christian society. Right? That should be outlawed. You think when we're in rulership, some people put tarot card reading $10, or whatever, right? And have like bestiality farms where you can go and lay with animals.
Animals, yeah, con.
Right. So this is how this man has to be exposed. And we're set up to be as witnesses. That's why the Bible says, we live in a world, but we're part of the world. A witness is not inclusive in the crime. To be a witness, you have to be someone that stand afar off, and you're saying what happened. You know what I mean? And then and we're eyewitnesses, so we're credible witnesses. We're saying that man right there did all these things. Right?
Kana, because even if you just look at the way they build their buildings. Right, the scriptures talk about how many floors you should have in the building. Right, and a lot of these buildings, they have a lot of Masonic symbols on them. They have which goes into what? Idol worshiping, worshiping of idols.
I just got a quick point to make.
Ballerina dancer, you have your little daughter, right? Putting on those leotards. We grew up in a society thinking that's normal. Like, at no point you should have your daughter in some strange, and that's why later on in life they scream, "Oh, when I was 7, this guy touched me and
molested." Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is how this man moves, but it seems so sublime because remember he's the most subtlest beast of all those created. Like, oh, it's for the kids and Boy Scout and Girls Guide.
Yeah,
they're pedophiles, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I was just going to just add, because it says a city by iniquity, and when you look up the word iniquity, it just simply means you being in the condition without having the law, and it's so subtle. Like he sets things up where you're always breaking the law, and it's to the point where you're ignorant about it, and that's how we built up his city,
Con.
Right.
right? I think
Right.
the brother just brought it out earlier about the whole what's it called, Silicon Valley Bank,
Yep. Yep.
and
Mhm.
how the guy who's running the bank, he went on this long trip,
Yeah. Yeah.
neglecting the bank, and he
Yeah.
went on a tour, setting up an LGBT party,
You're right.
right?
Hmm.
But when the average person they look at, they'll say that this guy is an inspiration,
Con.
not knowing that
Yeah.
he's breaking the laws, and also putting you in debt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so it's messed up. It's
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah. Come.
Well, like so, like the brother, because I would say court is in section for this guy. To just court for him. You
Yep.
know.
Yep. Going back to Isaiah 34:3, it says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Hmm.
All the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." And that's where you get, that's a mushroom cloud. Okay, and that happens by what? Missiles.
Hmm.
The heat, because back in old Babylon, the Lord basically had the chemicals, or the chemicals of certain rocks fused together to create that heat. All right, to create that fire. All right, but now this time around, he has a smith engineers, right? He has them set up. You read that in Isaiah, I think 50 or 56, talk about I've made the smith
Hmm.
to burn the coal
Yeah.
and right. So the Lord has put the spirit on these top engineers and in all these nations across the world to build these instruments of destruction, a missile. Okay, because the Lord is going to use these missiles to destroy America and particular parts of the world. And that goes back to his righteous anger, his indignation.
Quick precept.
Let me just finish this verse.
All right.
And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the host is their armies.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
This is Second Peter's chapter 3, verse 10. Point will be made in verse 12. It says, "A new heaven and new earth, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night,
Hmm.
in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise,
Mhm.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Hmm.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." Going into the elements is really you people and your surroundings that you interact with,
Mhm.
right? And also, don't forget the ICBM missiles. They're composed of certain elements as well, right?
Hmm.
So he's going to use elements to destroy other elements to break this world down,
Mhm.
right? Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, right? Going into what the
Yeah.
previous scripture that Brother Amoth pulled up,
Yep.
right? Everything's going to be dissolved. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for the hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And just to add, because that indignation is going to bring in the kingdom of heaven as well, and
Right.
it's going to create life. We have to remember fire is a purification agent
That's right.
that is used to clean and to actually purify and to renew, right? So this filthy world and all the wickedness that's on it is all going to be dissolved and burned away,
That's
and
right.
that's going to pave the way for new things to come.
That's
So
right.
it's
Con.
very positive when the Lord gets angry. It's a righteous thing.
Right.
If I could add to that, so this is where Christians get confused because they always pray. They preach at church the day of the Heavenly Father. Do they know that what the Heavenly Father is going to do to this place when He comes? That He know He's going to bring anger and fire into this place.
That's right.
Hmm.
You know?
Yep. That's right, man.
Yep. Hey, beautiful point, because we just went over the judgment. So I got two scriptures here that shows we're in the investigative phase, right? So these suggest investigative. So you silly Christians and you people that talk smack that this is
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen, I'm going to verify it in the sense of investigative. Those were actual judgments that's going to happen, and this is what the prophet Job says. Two quick precepts. I'll just read them. This is Job 36:6. It says, "He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor." Right. That links in contact with also that scripture that Brother Howard brought out. And it says here in Job 36:17, in the investigative phase, but thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked, judgment and justice take hold on thee. So yeah, investigative, but yes, the prophecy says that there's no sparing the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you hear that, you folks at home, and whoever that sees this, okay. Anyway, that's the point on that. Just wanted to bring that out.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 34:5, it says,
Mm-hmm.
"For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse." Right, that's a buzzword, because the people of the Lord's curse, you can identify them by looking at the pigment of their skin. All right, and then also you look at their actions, right? Because Esau was set up to be the wicked, and everything he does is incorrect, but it's right on the left hand side, because he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Idumea was a chief city, a capital city of the Edomites. Okay, so this judgment is going to befall you, bankers. Okay, and your kingdom, and pursuant to Psalms 47, around the 9th verse, you're going to be put into slavery under the Israelites, the elect of the Israelites, and you're going to be building up the kingdom, just like we built up your kingdom. Verse 6, it says, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats,
Mm-hmm.
with the fat of kidneys of rams." That's right, because this destruction that's going to befall America is going to be is likened to what an offering, a sin sacrifice offering.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the blood of rams, goats, and fats of kidneys of rams are all metaphors for the people in these particular places on the earth, mainly America, that are going to be destroyed. All right. That this is going to be America is a huge altar. For the Lord Yahweh has a sacrifice, see, in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And right now that land is America. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullock and the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion, which goes back to Israel. Okay.
So this is what.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying so this is what this war is all about. This is what all this financial system crashing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing we can't speak about. You know, the joke. Like everything is when you think about it, or when it's revealed to you, see that it's the Lord's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is creating a rough time up on the earth because it has to do with prophecy.
Go on.
We just have the eyes out because we're given the clarity to the understanding of the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
and prophecy brings about that clarity.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because this is what you want. You don't want to be in an opaque condition where you don't know what's going on. Right? The Lord says that the Lord revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophet.
That's right.
Right? And these secrets it belonged to us, right? Like for generations. We came back in different eras, right? But it was always belonged to us. That's why we're here speaking it. All right.
Right.
There's nothing else we could be doing right now. We weren't supposed to be world champion boxers or basketball dunk. That's not our thing. This is our lot.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. This is Ezekiel 22 and 29, and it reads, "The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and the needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none." Right? "Therefore have I poured out my indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath." All right. "Their own way have I recompensed upon their heads, saith the Lord Yahweh." Right. So the Lord is basically it's a huge psyops, man. He's using their own imagination against them. What they think is going to happen, because the scriptures say their inward thoughts that what? Their inward thoughts is that their house shall continue forever. So the Lord is flipping the script on them, and he's going to destroy their kingdom. All right. And then when you go into what he says, "And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge." A hedge is a protection. Who's going to protect you against the Lord, man? No one's going to protect you against the Lord. Okay. The only people that are going to be protected against the Lord's wrath, or from the Lord's wrath, are the elect of the nation of Israel. And that's because the man that's standing among them or for them, all right, in between, it says, "And stand in the gap before me and the land." That's Yahweh Shai for the elect. But Esau ain't got nobody like that. The heathens ain't got nobody like that. So they're going to receive the judgment of the Lord.
Got the quick definition for the word oppression in the 29th verse here. It says here, oppression, cruel or unjust use of power or authority. And that's what you've seen over here in Babylon the Great, primarily in different parts of the world. A lot of oppression. They rob you day by day. They put economic sanctions on you and your household. They don't allow you to buy food, healthy food to feed your family. They oppressed you with Jim Crow laws and all these laws to keep you down. So you can't procreate, you can't have wives, you can't have children, you can't serve the Lord the right way. You're oppressed on all sides. I have one precept to go with that. This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 12. And I believe the point will be made in verse 14. It says, "But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel." And, that happened over here. We were oppressed, we were robbed, but we still grew and we multiplied. We still had families. There's so much Israelites over here in America, and they look all different colors, shades, and sizes, right? They know this. And this grieves them, especially now because we're coming back to our nationality, knowing who we are. Verse 13, "And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor." So that's slavery, man. You're over in slavery. It doesn't matter what level you're on, whether you're in the basketball world, NBA world, the entertainment world. You have a business. You're still taxes.
That's right.
You have to work, and you know what? Your children have to work because you're given a birth certificate. And if you don't register them with the state, you can either go to jail, or they make things very difficult for you to function in this life and society. All right, verse 14. "And they made their lives bitter with
Mhm.
hard bondage. That's right, oppression, more slavery, more shackles upon shackles.
Yeah.
In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field, all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. In every facet of labor we have suffered over here in Babylon the Great. Every facet, everything way you can think of, whether it's mental,
Yeah.
physical, right, or psychological, it's all slavery, man. You're all
Right.
being, it's all oppression,
Right.
right? And that's what's happening in Egypt, and we're going to be delivered out of this, and
Right.
that's why the Lord's going to bring His indignation.
And that's that's a good point, Ak, because the scriptures say that their bodies shall lie, their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the place called spiritually Egypt and Sodom.
Yeah.
And spiritually Egypt, right? You're reading this precept here. I guess so. That's how we know this place, the place called spiritual Egypt, is America, because Egypt represents bondage. And we're still in bondage, but now it's a bondage of the mind, rather than you being, or beat to death. Is more so now you're spiritually dead. This man has your mind so chained up. That's why the scriptures talk about breaking strongholds.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These strongholds are upon the minds of our people in this place called Babylon, spiritually Egypt,
Mhm.
and now further, really, across the whole earth.
Go
Also, you said oppression too. You went into this word oppression. I wanted to add to your point, because we're now, we're coming into a time, and they're talking about it and telling us, about measuring and tracking, your carbon footprint, 15-minute cities, your ECG emissions, all these things. These are going to be forms of oppression. All right. If you bought too much red meat if you bought red meat this week, or too much red meat this week, according to Esau, he could say you're not allowed to buy red meat for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
You bought a pair of shoes last week. Guess what? You can't buy a pair of shoes for another 2-3 months. So this man is getting ready to even come down with even worse oppression upon the world and upon you Israelites, by the way of these 15-minute cities and carbon emission trackers and all these things, man. Surveillance, ultimately with the MOTB. It's going to lead to the MOTB.
Well, it
And
shows you.
Go
ahead, Omar.
Oh no, I just want to say real quick, because you even have this devil coming out and telling you out in the open, Klaus Schwab, you will own nothing and be happy about it.
Right.
So that's total oppression. You'll be happy to be oppressed.
Right.
He's telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So anyway, sorry.
I was going to say, when you book a flight now, it shows you the carbon footprint. You'll be leaving by going to some certain places. So eventually, you're gonna like overextend, right, your allowance of what's allotted to you. So if say you're allowed 2,000 a year, and the destination might take up 1,000, right? And you see that those barbecues now that it reads and registers what is it you're barbecuing.
Yeah.
You might run out of your what's allowed to you within 6 months. So for another 6 months, you got to sit there and grin and bear it, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You got something?
Yeah, I got something real quick. This video here. We're talking about indignation, right? Real quick, let me just pull this up for Esau, man. Show you that he's into all kinds of pedophilia, and this is a part of the Lord's indignation, because these different there's a lot of pedophile rings, child trafficking, human trafficking, and a lot of these shelters and these foster care organization going into oppression. They're set up so that you can have your kids and give them into these pedophile rings, sacrifice them, do all kinds of wickedness with them. And these Edomites are into this, man. Real quick, I'm gonna play this video.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And the brother, this is from GMS Watchman. All right, this is one the brother. I forgot his name. Forgive me, but he's from the New York camp. Right. It says, "I have stripped Esau's descendants completely, so that they can no longer hide." Jeremiah 49:10.
Well, I've got something to tell
Oh, okay.
you. Yeah. Well, I've got something to tell you.
What?
I'm here in Denver, and I was going to meet up with what I thought was 18 or 19-year-old boy.
Tell the truth.
He's 14, and I got caught.
Wicked, man.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Hey, Deb.
Dave?
Okay, hold on.
Hey, Deb. This is Tommy with Colorado Pet Patrol. I'm here in Broomfield, Colorado with your husband. He attempted to pick up a 14-year-old who he knew was 14 to bring back to his hotel for sex. And we are here with him now. Yeah, and I apologize to tell you, he didn't want to call you, but we wanted you to know. He clearly knew it was a 14-year-old. This is our 267th catch. And
267th catch, and that's a small number, man.
he's here at the Walmart to pick up the 14-year-old boy.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm,
What? This can't be real.
I'm sorry, Deb.
I'm so sorry, Dad. We can.
Yeah. So this man is being revealed in this kingdom. Okay.
Mhm.
So the precept he put up there, I think it was 2 Thessalonians, and you're seeing that this Edomite knew he was going to meet a 14-year-old girl, and you're telling me the Lord loves the world. Some of you Jakes in the church, man, you need to really consider and think, how can the Lord love the earth, and if the world is given onto the hand of the wicked? All right, there's a lot of things that these Edomites have to pay for, and this is a small thing that we're seeing in comparison to what they're really doing.
Mhm.
Um,
Go ahead, brother.
I just got a quick result about Obadiah 8, and it reads, "So I know in that day, say the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau,
Mm-hmm.
and thy mighty man, all Teman, Teman, should be dismayed to the end that everyone of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter."
Right.
So, in other words, these people need to be wiped out. Need to be cut off completely.
Yeah, and this oppression that's about to get that the Lord is going to use Esau to bring upon the earth. Okay, he's getting ready to do that really soon. This oppression is going to come, and they're going to bring this out by the way of in the name of saving the earth.
Okay.
That's what that's how they're gonna say it. But he's a devil, man. He speaks with a forked tongue.
Mhm.
Right? So and then when you go into Teman represents the Germans.
Mhm.
So the Lord's getting ready to put.
Yeah, and they're right at the forefront. Schwab, all these characters. Well, Bill
Yeah.
Gates, they're Temanites,
Yeah,
right? And those are mighty men. But I just wanted to address that. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's right. That's a good point.
They're the brain behind everything.
Yeah,
When
they're
you
right in the
think about it,
forefront.
he's the master behind everything. Those
Filthy
Temanites.
Teman.
They're
Yeah,
engineering everything.
yeah,
Well,
Mhm.
well, even the so-called royal family, when you do their bloodline tracing back, they're also Temanites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Con.
yeah. They go back to the Sax and Gortha family.
Con.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. The Lord's gonna bring right to this. It's gonna bring so much catastrophes and judgment to the point where eventually it's gonna get to the point where these guys are not gonna have the answers for these situations.
Okay.
is that they're not going to have the answers for what's going on. So it's going to be what you call a divine intervention, man. People are going to start to know that this has to be coming from God.
Con.
Mhm.
You got a precept for you?
Con.
Isaiah 66.
15, 13.
Started come on, 13. Yeah, let's put up Malak.
Yeah, I'm watching a whole bunch of stuff, but that was one. No, go ahead, brother. Bring it out.
Okay.
It's
Con,
important.
Isaiah 66 and 13, and it reads, it says, as one whom his mother comes
Actually, start 12. Start 12.
Okay, con. Isaiah 66 and 12. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river.
And that her, it says Israel is likened into a beautiful and comely woman. Right? So the Most High is speaking right now of the elect. Right? There are certain members or people in Israel that was predestined to be exempted from this indignation spoken of. Right, so the her is basically mainly the elect, the 1/3, right, and the 1/4,000.
That's right. And it says, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream.
So whatever it is they have in possession, right, it's going to be handed over back to us, right? We're going to prosper, right? This is going to a flowing stream, right?
That's right.
Beautiful.
Then
I was just going to add there, right? Because that's like a double blessing there. That peace, which is His truth, and then He's going to show us it through those things, those gifts, part of the inheritance that the brother just mentioned. Go ahead.
Then shall ye suck, and shall be born upon her sides, and be dandled.
Yeah. So then it's like, when a baby is crying, trying to comfort it, you put it on your legs and you bounce up and down,
right, and you rock it.
So the forces is going to pacify us, meaning like what the substance. Because the reason why we're not comforted right now, we have no substance, right? And as carnal as it sounds, we need like physical things to give us sustenance, right? We have what's spiritual already, because this is why we're doing this, because what we're doing is based on the spirit. But the Lord also set it up where we to move about freely, not worry about like being those curses. Right. You have your land, your nationality back, all these things, man. It's like we don't even know what it feels like to be of a true nation. Like now we know in the spirit that we're Israelites, but we can't enjoy it.
Right.
The laws. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying not fully. You're right.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Not fully.
Yeah.
So which means we're not perfect.
Right.
Right? And the Bible said, "Be ye perfect." Right. So we can't even do that right now.
Right.
Okay. So all these things will be allotted back to us, and the main culprit that's blocking this is Esau, the damn devil. Okay.
And be dandled upon her knees, as one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem.
So it's a name. It's a nation, man. Right. The northern tribe, the southern tribe. Right. That's going to be us, a new Jerusalem. All right. So here's how the Lord's going to do it now. Read.
It says, and when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice.
And we're seeing it. We're not complaining. We're not. We're seeing the commencing, right, of this thing, destabilizing, destructuring. Brother Gabar brought the elements melting. We're not saying, we're not taking no bomb for her. We're like burn.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we want it to happen yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Kabar brought out a good point earlier. He said indignation also doesn't only bring destruction, but it also brings restoration.
Khan.
Khan. So it says, and your bones shall flourish like an herb.
Mhm.
The hand of the Lord Yahweh shall be known towards his servants.
And we know the hand is going into Yahushai, right? He's the extension of the Lord. The Lord being like the Heavenly Father is like the brain, right? And your brain give directions to your hand.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
grab that. You
Mhm.
know, so the most of unleash his hand, right, on you people, man.
Mhm.
All right, read.
It
Right.
says, it's like I lost my place. Oh yeah, and his indignation towards his enemies.
Gone. And you read the Psalms 83,
Mhm.
right? And go through that, and you have a list of enemies there, man.
Mhm.
17 of them,
Yeah,
right? And it starts out with Edom,
right.
Mhm.
right? So the word Edom, Idumea, Grecians,
Yeah,
those are buzzwords that the so-called white man is hiding from. It's like calling himself white,
Mhm.
right? But that's his biblical nationality because he goes back to what? A man called Esau.
that's right.
Mhm.
All right.
It says, "For behold, the Lord come with fire,
Mm-hmm.
and with his chariots like a whirlwind,
Mm-hmm.
to render his anger with fury,
Mm-hmm.
and his rebuke with with flames of fire.
Go on, read.
For by fire and by his sword will he plead with all flesh."
And does it mean the Lord's going to ask you something? Because Esau has Merriam and the Webster dictionary, and
Yeah.
that word plead there means is begging. So
Mhm.
don't say, please let me burn you.
No.
That's it doesn't mean that, right? You see, Esau is he's so slick with it. Like in his law book, right? How he defines his word, he doesn't use the Webster's or the Collins or whatever. He doesn't use those. He uses a thing called a Black's Law Dictionary that defines his words,
Mhm.
right? But he gives us in school these books, right? So he's speaking two languages because remember he speaks with a forked tongue, right? So now we're using our law book, right, which is very straightforward once it's come through us because we're just bringing it out for him to understand. Like you're the damn devil, you're not white, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna burn your ass up. That's what it's saying,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Right? We were set up to tell you the Lord's gonna kill you.
Mhm.
That's right, man.
You know?
Right. Yeah, and that word "plea" goes into judgment,
Mhm.
and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be many.
That's
Mhm.
right. And I'll praise you about Shemai Shai, man, because like
Uh,
they have the Lord have this weakling, right? But it says the slain of the Lord. So the
Should be.
Lord kills. And
Mhm.
it goes into Isaiah 45 and 7 says, I kill and I
Mhm.
make alive.
Mhm.
Right.
Right?
And that word "plea," just for the record, it goes into the word "shapat."
Khan,
Yeah.
judgment.
That's right. That's right, man. Judge,
Mhm.
govern. And he also says
Vindicate,
vindicate, punish.
punish.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about decree?
Yeah.
The Lord's going to decree judgment. The same word, decree, and then instead of using the word plead, you can put also decree
Yeah.
because it says in the precept what was coming, slain. So that's what the word is as
Well,
well.
another definition it says to
Mhm.
act as lawgiver or judge
Khan.
or governor, like you were just saying. Okay.
It also means give pleasure.
Well, it's his pleasure to do. Yeah.
To
This
the Lord.
destruction is going to be his pleasure.
To
Khan.
please you with judgment. It's perfect judgment.
Well,
There- go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, go ahead, man.
I was going to say there's a scripture that says the Lord has perfect hatred
Yeah.
for,
Oh, okay.
yeah, perfect hatred. Right. I'll pull up the scripture, but it goes into judgment as well. Right. Perfect hatred for the wicked. Okay. So,
Quick,
but anyway, go ahead. That's
another quick precept from
Mhm.
the brother Howard here. It says Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees
Yeah.
and write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Khan.
Yep.
So you see, it says prescribe means pre-written.
Mhm.
So what you see happening here is not I think they thought about last night or last week.
Right.
This has been in
Right.
the making.
It's been
Right? This
planned.
banking crashing, and they don't know. It's a surprise. It's not a surprise. This is a formula, right? That they think is gonna propel them into the new world where it has everybody in control.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But we got the manuscript, right? We got the cheaters code, right? The Lord's put us up on game, right? So we know how this movie ends.
Well,
We got the director's cut.
I got this real quick, Nahum. This is my last precept. Nahum 1:6. It says, "Who can stand before his indignation?
Mhm.
And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
Mhm.
His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust him. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall punish and pursue his enemies." Right? The darkness goes into a lot of things, man. Like it goes into confusion, the way people are going to die. Let's look that up real quick, actually. Darkness, right? Obscurity, darkness, secret place. It says destruction, misery, death, ignorance, sorrow, wickedness, right? Night, obscurity. Yeah, because the Lord is also going to use Esau's wickedness to bring misery upon a lot of you Jakes, man, and a lot of you 2/3 and scoffers. The Lord is going to use Esau's wickedness to bring misery upon you, man.
Misery, destruction.
Yeah, gone. Okay, and he can do that, man. It says, what do ye imagine against the Lord Yahweh? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
So he's imagined, right? Going into Revelation, is it 12 where it says war broken in heaven?
Right.
He thinks his space force, right, has a testicular fortitude, right, to go up against Heavenly Father and the heavenly host, man.
Yeah.
But this is so sick and demented this man is, but he was made to be that way.
Exactly.
He would curse him out. That's what he's set to do. You know what I mean? To be a damn nuisance.
That's right. And that also goes into, once the kingdom of heaven is established, we're not going to go into slavery again. You know, we will not be afflicted the second time. We went through our judgment. We went through the curses, our punishment for going off, and then we're going to be restored. All right, through Yahweh Shai. And that's going to be the final. That's going to be it. It's not going to be any more transferring of rulership. It's going to stay and end with Yahweh Shai and the Israelites. Verse 10, it says, "For while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry."
So it burns quickly, man.
Yeah.
Like dry stubble. I don't know if you guys ever caught a fire before, like,
I have, yeah.
So that was common, when you ran out of gas, like, we have gas stoves.
Yeah.
And when they run out of gas and your parents can't replace that gas tank, you have to cook outside. You have to go. Your mom says, "Go get some stubble, man, and you're gonna find some skinny, some stick that's dried, and it catches fire easy because you got to start a fire so you can cook."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And it says while they are drunken, right? So real quick, let's see what drunken goes into. Liquor, wine, potion, concretely wine, or abstractly carousel, the water. Drink drunken wine. Drunkenness. Dubious, but very dubious. right?
Hmm.
So basically, man, if you look at this spiritually, a lot of people on the earth are going to be in that spirit of mirth and revelry, partying. Just like Peter's in Second Peter's, it says, just like in the time of Noah, they were given into marriage, drinking, and then the Lord's destruction came, His wrath came.
Hmm.
The Most High is going to get you when you feel the best.
When you're sleeping.
Yeah, when you're sleeping. And
We'll
sleep,
wake you up out of your sleep and deal with you.
yeah, and sleep represents comfort. When you're asleep, you're comfortable.
Gone.
It's like a thief at night, right? Like a thief in the night.
Yeah, gone.
Right. I'm just going to read to 14. It says, there is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord Yahweh, a wicked counselor.
All Schwab.
Mm-hmm.
That's very right, man. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now will I break his yoke from off thee. And that's also why the elect are going to get new bodies, because these bodies that we have now are contaminated. All right, they're contaminated with all kinds of filthiness, man. You have work in your body, you have chemicals in your body. Not to mention, bodies are given into sin and rebellion.
Gone.
The Lord is going to give us new bodies, man.
Very
And
pure.
will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord Yahweh shall give a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and the molded image. So all these different religions, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, satanic, satanic club, all these different religions represent graven images, idol worshiping. It's all going to be done away with. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Yeah, so that's it for me. That's my last precept. I don't know if brothers have any lasting statements or precepts.
If you could just read Job 20 and 27, just those three verses, because it's a whole book, and we went into it in regards to. I know Psalms 83 wasn't mentioned, but there's no need for it in regards to. We know who's spearheading the wickedness here. So this is, if you could just go there and read those three verses in closing, right?
Job 20 and 27, it says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity.
All right. So starting with Yahweh Shem Yoshia's pure truth and his messengers, because when you go into this word, it's this word heaven, the word there, Shemayim in the Hebrew, gives you, right? And of course, it's talking about a symbolic of the waters, right? Waters above, below, and of course, we know about space, which is really reflecting the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Heaven, and of course, this goes into the truth, revealing his iniquity, and those scriptures came out already.
Yeah.
And also it's going into like the satellites.
Yep.
Right? That, like Brother Martha showed a short clipping of a pedophile being caught red-handed. Right? And that term was also assigned to him as first, because he's the man with the red hand.
That's right.
Right? Because he was the thief violating the earth.
Yeah.
So being caught red-handed in a very detestable act.
Yeah.
And that's sodomy, that's homosexuality, and pedophilia all in one, like 3 charges in one. You get charged here. It's like 3 or 4 charges for one thing. So that's like, you know what I mean? Guilty, you dirty bastard.
That's right, man. That's right. And the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart.
All
And
right,
the
going
earth is like
into
all those relics, right?
yeah, or his economy actually, what he stands for. Go ahead,
Done.
go ahead, go ahead.
So
Finish your point,
like
brother.
there's things that they've hidden, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they've digged out of the earth, right? Just to show like he's not who he says he is, and
Mhm.
other people because they find civilizations that's been buried and like covered by trees and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So everything this man does is about I'm lying.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
said the wicked are straight from the womb. As soon as it be born, you go about telling lies,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. And the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of the wicked man from Yahweh, and the heritage appointed unto. Oh man, a heritage. Your heritage
Yeah.
is
Job
destruction.
9:24. Yeah, was given.
That's why the scriptures say he's the son of perdition,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because he has inherited destruction and wrath and indignation from the Lord. And the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh, by Yahushua.
Which it shows that your forefathers coming back. You know,
Right.
Right,
Right.
right,
you know,
right.
these like Christopher Columbus, they're gonna come back. Francisco Pizarro, all these conquistadors, all these people who ruled. You know, you're gonna receive your judgment too, coming back.
Mhm.
Hey, Gabar, did you see the article they're talking about? Christopher Columbus was black.
Oh,
Yeah, I seen that.
No.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit.
Just trying to say he was a black man.
Oh man.
Esau's
wow.
crazy, man.
Esau is crazy, man.
Wow.
That's crazy. All right, so that concludes today's class. An open forum on the indignation of the Lord. Yahweh Shem Shai. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Shem,
Bashem,
Hashem,
Bashem,
Yahshua,
Bashem,
Hashem, Baruch
and double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well. All right, and has taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect that are also pushing his word across the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. As well to you little amount of sisters that believe, peace and mercy as well to you. We're going to say Abad Babal.
Abba,
And Lord willing, to the next live lesson, we'll say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Arya.
Khan.
I don't want to worry.